Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, the spring sports season rolls on.
Back to the wall, that's going to score two.
In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man who led Ben Davis boys basketball to a perfect season and a state title. Plus, our athlete of the week is a state champion high jumper at Plainfield.
It's extremely exciting. You know, at first when I cleared 7 feet, it didn't really feel like it actually happened.
We're swinging for the fences on the Zone Extra right now.
Good evening and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Andrew Chernoff. What a great week of high school sports action. Baseball, softball, lacrosse, volleyball, and so much more. In the Coach's Corner, last month he led Ben Davis to a perfect season and a state championship. Giants coach Don Carlisle is here with some of his team in studio. Plus, our athlete of the week is a star high jumper at Plainfield and a future Purdue Boilermaker. Meet Quaker senior Bodie Gilkerson. And on our on-campus feature, we spotlight former IU standout and Indiana Fever first-round pick Grace Berger. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Last Thursday night on the Diamond, it was the #1 Center Grove Trojans baseball team hosting Roncalli. Bottom one, Center Grove's Garrison Burrell to straightaway center, and that is way out of here. A 2-run shot gives the Trojans an early lead. Top 5 we go. Still 2-0 Center Grove when Roncalli's J.J. Prendergast, goodbye, solo home run, and Roncalli is within a run. But that was the Royals' only hit of the game. In the bottom of the inning with the runner on, the Trojans' Drew Culbertson absolutely crushes this one to left center. Center Grove takes a 4-1 lead, and that's all pitcher Jacob Murphy needed. Top of the 7th, strikeout number 7 on the night. He throws a one-hitter, and Center Grove wins 4-1. Monday in Hamilton County was #3 Noblesville taking on Hamilton Heights. Scoreless in the third, Miller's pitcher Tom Tallarico dealing. The breaking ball right there, one of 7 punch-outs on the night. Bottom 4, Noblesville up 1. Adds to the lead here. Jacob Edwards, a swing and a drive to left. 3-run homer makes it 4-0. The Millers go on to win it 8-4 to improve to 12-3 on the season. So here's a look at the Class 4A baseball coaches poll for this week. #1 is Center Grove. #2 is Carroll. Noblesville is 3rd. And then 4th and 5th, Cathedral and Lake Central, respectively. To softball now, where it might be hard to believe, but we're less than a month away from the start of the state tournament. In fact, the sectional draw takes place this Sunday evening. Now, last Thursday, it was Hamilton Southeastern hosting Lawrence North. Bottom 1, HSE's Peyton Fox finds a hole, and that one goes all the way to the wall. The double scores Addie Justice. Just like that, we're tied at 1. Later, we're tied at 2 in the 3rd inning when Lawrence North's Kate Dowden with a drive to the gap in left center. That scores a pair, and Lawrence North takes the lead, all part of a 4-run inning for the Wildcats. In the 4th, more from LN, Samantha Springer. The infield single, that gets the job done, plates another run. Wildcats win it 9-7. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, it was the B&O rivalry clash in Hendricks County between Brownsburg and Avon. Scoreless in the 6th. Not anymore, says Hannah Sutton. 2-run homer, one of 2 home runs on the day for Sutton. That makes it 2-0 Avon. 7th inning, the lead down to 1 when the Orioles' Lily Heath gives her team some insurance. That's a solo shot. Avon goes on to beat Brownsburg 6-3. Tuesday night, it was the softball edition of the Mudsock rivalry. Fishers hosting Hamilton Southeastern. Scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. Brooke Johnson shoots it past the shortstop to left field. That scores Haley Trueblood. Fishers leads, and that's all the run support that Kate Murray would need. Top of the 5th, one of her 8 strikeouts on the night. She gives up only 2 hits, and the Tigers get the 1-0 win. To volleyball, where the regular season continues across the state with several teams right here in central Indiana having great seasons, including one that's ranked in the top 10 nationally. Here's a look at this week's boys volleyball coaches poll. #1 is Fishers. The Tigers are that team that's ranked 9th in this week's USA Today national rankings. #2 is Roncalli. Cathedral is 3rd, followed by HSE and Westfield. And in girls lacrosse, it was another Mudsock rivalry with Fishers hosting HSE. Late first half, you saw it right there. HSE's Sydney Sloan with the goal. Royals lead 10-3 at the break. Second half, more from Hamilton Southeastern. This time it's Jesse Lyons who finds the back of the net. HSE wins the rivalry by the final of 20-5. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on the Zone Extra. Up next in the Coach's Corner, after a perfect season and state title, look who it is. We chat with Ben Davis basketball head coach Don Carlisle and some of his Ben Davis Giants. And still ahead, here's the top-ranked high school jumper in the state. We'll introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Plainfield High School.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Time now for our Coach's Corner. Last month, history was made at Gainbridge Fieldhouse as Ben Davis completed a perfect 33-0 season with the Class 4A state championship over Kokomo. We welcome to the Zone Extra head coach Don Carlisle and some of his Ben Davis Giants. Coach, appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so first of all, I feel very short with this crew right here, but that's okay. You guys are good basketball players. Has it sunk in yet what you guys accomplished this season?
Well, I had a little bit of time off to kind of sit back and think about it. Yes and no. I had some time to think about just being undefeated, being the first coach and player to win at his alma mater. Those things for me, especially in Indiana, are huge deals. But just like winning the state championship, those are goals that we all had as a staff, and the players had the undefeated as their goal, and we were able to accomplish those things. So, I mean, for me, I don't think it'll set in for a while until we start, maybe next year when we start playing again.
Always looking ahead to the future. I'll circle back to this being your alma mater as well, because that's an awesome thing I know for you. Zane Dowdy, obviously you're a huge piece to the puzzle. 15,000 fans were at the state championship game. Just what was the atmosphere like out there?
Oh, it was electric. It was insane. Like Kokomo student section, our student section, everybody in there filling it out, you know, just all these screaming, yelling, barely hear each other on the court. I mean, it was amazing.
When did you realize this team could be special?
Oh, from the beginning, you know, we put in 4 years of work, you know. Like, I knew it was something special as soon as I got with all these guys.
Coach, this team obviously just being a special group, what was it like to coach them?
Tough group. No, it was good, man. It was my pleasure to be able to be allowed to coach them. It was certainly some tough times that we had to go through, but it was all worth it in the end. I mean, some of these guys, the other 2 guys, they'll be back next year. Zane and other seniors, we had 7 of them. They're gone now, so we were able to accomplish some really big things. You know, history, rewrite history and do some good things on and off the court. So I'm extremely proud of them, extremely proud of what we were able to accomplish, and I'm looking forward to what we can do in the future.
Zane, Coach just mentioned right there, there's a bunch of guys that are seniors, but some guys that are coming back. What's the best piece of advice you're leaving to these guys who are coming back?
I mean, just don't be satisfied, you know. I mean, we won, but it's not over. You guys still got years here, and like, you got to do what you got to do, you know. Don't stop working.
Don, Coach, is obviously a Ben Davis graduate, wanted now as a head coach. He's also wanted as a player. How much were you trying to get in victory for Coach?
I mean, a lot, you know. I know it means a lot to him, so, you know, it was definitely big motivation to, you know, get him, you know, the state championship, and really, like, he's been there. I mean, he was there before, but he wasn't able to finish before I got there, so, you know, definitely getting it for him was really a really big motivation.
I see that dig. He's a senior.
It was a little bit
that, right?
of a dig, and that's fine. He's right, though. He's right. He's right.
For you, though, obviously this was a goal for you, and just an incredible accomplishment being from Ben Davis to coach your alma mater and win a state championship.
Correct.
Has that sunk in as to how special and unique of a situation that is?
Not really. I mean, I'm just really doing my job. You get up every day and try to make a difference, and that's just how I approach it. I mean, like I said, no one has ever done it in Indiana, so for me, that takes precedent over most of the stuff that we do or we've done. So that's part of the thing that I was able to kind of ingest over the time last month that we've had since we won.
The trophy, I know, is at the school right now. Zane, when you walk by that thing in the hallway, what goes through your mind?
I mean, every time I see it, it's just, that really happened, you know, it's like a dream. It's like, it's crazy. Like, it's a monumental achievement in history, so I still really haven't processed it myself, but it's awesome every time I get to see it.
Just being an undefeated group, don't want to take a shot at you like Zane did, but you're older than these guys. So, and where does this team, you think, rank in the history of Indiana high school basketball teams who were undefeated and won a state championship?
Man, I think it's tough to compare, especially with the GOAT. We just kind of talking about it when we were over here about, you know, the young guys. They think LeBron is the GOAT. And as the older guys, man, we lean towards MJ or someone a little bit played when we were younger. So it's hard, it's tough, because you can't really compare the teams because they don't get a chance to play each other. But I think, man, you have to put them up there near the top, especially completing the undefeated season and winning 33 games, which has never been done either. So even the 32-1 team that we had in '95, a lot of D1 guys on that team, a lot of Mr. Basketball and 2-3 All-Stars on that team. I don't think you can compare the teams, but you definitely have to put them up there, at least stacked up next to each other.
You see the impressive resume right there, 33-0 record, 14th unbeaten champion in state history. The average margin of victory, absurd, almost 20 points right there. Mm-hmm. Zane is one of those Division I players that is leaving the program, and I know that you are now locked in with Ball State. Mm-hmm. What did you learn during your time at Ben Davis that you think can help you at the next level?
I mean, just to really put your head down and work and not worry about anything else, like going through the conditioning and like keeping track of your mentality, making sure it's on the right thing. You know, that's a big part, and taking everything seriously. Don't have a weakness in any part of your game.
Don, these guys who are coming back, the target now is on your back. Clearly, it was all season long, and you guys did a really good job of handling that. What's the message to this group coming back next year? Because I'm sure as soon as you win the state championship, you're looking forward.
Yeah, I spoke, especially I do exit meetings at the end of each year, and I talked to a couple guys, and we spoke about the '96 team that I played on, and it's a really similar situation from the '95-'96 group to from the '23-'24 group. We were able to get it done and be back to back. So for me, that's what the goal is and the expectation. I told them how big the target is and how much bigger it will be next year. So we just looking to work hard and put ourselves in position to be champs again next year.
It's been a phenomenal run for these guys. Obviously, that formula worked this year. The Ben Davis Giants, 33-0 state champions. Just an unbelievably impressive year. Guys, congratulations. Thanks for coming in on the show. Thank you. Well done. Well done. Fun team to watch as well. So, Don, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. Still ahead on the Zone Extra, it's time for our Athlete of the Week. He's won multiple high jump state titles in the past year. Up next, meet Plainfield senior Bodie Gilkerson. Plus, our on-campus segment features former Indiana Hoosier and new Indiana Fever first-round draft pick Grace Berger.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Last season, our Athlete of the Week won an individual state championship in the high jump and also helped Plainfield win the boys team state title. Senior Bodie Gilkerson is the top-ranked high jumper in the state. His mother was a high jumper as well and actually helped get Bodie into the sport. He obviously quickly fell in love with it. Besides last year's IHSAA title, Gilkerson won the indoor state championship last month with a jump of 7 feet. In fact, he's the only high schooler in the nation to clear 7 feet indoors this year, and he tells us the accomplishment was a bit surreal.
It was extremely exciting. You know, at first when I cleared 7 feet, it didn't really feel like it actually happened. Like, it probably took me 10, 15 minutes to be like, oh, I just did that. So, you know, I expected it, but, you know, I was glad I could actually make it happen.
Not much coaching with Bodie. He's a really good jumper. He's probably the best high jumper in high school I've seen. So I just kind of encourage him, and he's a really good listener. And so I just give him a few hints and tips to get him up over some of the high heights.
I've always liked it. You know, the technique, it's taken a little while, but, you know, I've always had a pretty natural, form. Not a lot of people, understand how high jump works. So it's really cool for somebody that doesn't high jump, like to see somebody high jump really well.
He's not stopping where he's at because he can go higher. So that's what we're working on, to see if he can go, how high he can go his senior year leading into college, but he's going to jump next year at Purdue.
They just had everything I was looking for. You know, the whole team, it was just really welcoming. All their coaches were awesome. Beautiful campus. Yeah, I'm just a good track team.
Man, makes it look so easy. Time for a break, but more still to come on the Zone Extra, including our play of the week. Plus, it's the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time to go on campus. Earlier this month, Grace Berger became IU's highest WNBA draft pick ever when she was selected in the first round with the 7th overall pick by the Indiana Fever. In her senior season at IU, Berger averaged nearly 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, 1 steal per game. Pretty solid. Key piece for a Hoosiers team that reached #1 in the country. Berger says she's thrilled to be part of the Fever organization, and the support that she's received in the Hoosier state is incredibly special.
I don't think it's been surprising at all because they've been showering me with that love, from my teammates to my coaches, to obviously the fans and the community since I stepped on campus in 2018. So, you know, like I said, Indiana's just really excited about women's basketball. The community's really excited about women's basketball. And I'm excited to experience that at the professional level, but also stay close to, you know, Bloomington and the people that mean a lot to me. And then, you know, I've been coming to Fever games since I was 6 or 7 years old with my parents. So I think that just made it that much more special.
The Louisville native is moving north to Bloomington and now to Indianapolis. And now it's time for our Ask the Commissioner segment. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's this week's question. How exciting is it seeing one of the top baseball players and one of the top softball players in the country right here in Central Indiana?
You know, it is exciting, and it just goes on. We talk about we have basketball student athletes, male and female, that play big parts on the national scene and professional scenes. We've had swimmers with Lily King, and we've had Indiana sports. I don't think people realize how special it is and how well our kids do, not only at their high school level. I mean, we've had multiple #1 student athletes participate in this great state, and these are just 2 more in the long line of great athletes that have played right here in Indiana, and they will continue to do great things. But so proud of the work that they've done and the work that their coaches have done with them to get them to this point of their career.
And thanks again to the Commissioner for joining us. Here's how you can submit questions to Paul Neidig. Just send us a tweet using the hashtags #TheZoneExtra and Ask the Commish, and your question could be used on a future show. Now it's time to take a look at our play of the week. Each week, we feature one of the top plays from the world of high school sports in Central Indiana, and we want you to get involved. We'll tell you how your video can be featured on a future show. But first, here's this week's top play. Watch this. Center Grove softball hosting Bedford North Lawrence, extra innings, game tied in the bottom of the 9th, and senior Peyton Szymanski ends it. That is gone over the left field wall. A walk-off home run as the top-ranked Trojans win a 7-6 thriller. Our crews see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays every week, too. Your video could be featured on a future edition of the Zone Extra as our play of the week. Here's what you need to do. Just tweet us the video of a great play from a high school sporting event using the hashtag #TheZoneExtra. Then tune in on Thursday night to see if your submission becomes our play of the week. One of my favorite parts of the show every single week. That's going to do it for the Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday for a brand new episode. And of course, for even more Central Indiana high school sports, log on to wishtv.com. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.